Hey everyone, super excited to start or for episode number four of Real Estate Roundtable with Ryan Ponce and Associates. I got Carl here and I got Fabio. Carl's outside running or something. Don't know what's
Yeah.
going on back there.
It's a nice
Where are
day.
you?
It's a nice day to be out for sure.
Yeah.
Right.
And Fabio wearing a hat again, but you have to show us why you're wearing a hat.
It's been a while, man. I need the barbershops to hopefully start opening soon because I have a whole situation
Fabio,
going on here.
Fabio's a pro. He said that he was gonna shave his head, but then ended up not
I
doing
got
it.
sca- I
So
got scared.
I want
What's up?
This is probably the longest I've had my hair since I was a little kid. I mean,
I want
I
Gina to
go to the
shave his
barbershop
head.
pretty often.
Fabio's wife.
No,
I
let's
mean,
not do that.
my dad and his sister tried to cut my hair, but kind of messed it up on the side a little bit.
That's right. Mine's like different. Mine's actually different lengths too. You can't really see it. I was holding a comb and Astrid was shaving my head, and she put pressure on it. It just like shaved, basically like a dip in my head. So all of my hair is different lengths. So it's
I think
okay.
Astrid. I think Astrid did a pretty good job, man.
Yeah, she did actually. I mean, it's not bad. I do have like a lot of long hair right here, so we're gonna do some touch up in a little bit.
Yeah, me and Jen have
Uh,
been locked in together for too long. I'm scared with her with the clippers.
those COVID-19 haircuts.
Yeah,
Right.
seriously.
So we'll start off the video with talking about food places, and Carl, you're up. You always start off the
So
food ones.
yeah, I guess so.
He's a
My
foodie.
pick for this week is kava, the Mediterranean food. It's so good. It's kind of um like Chipotle in a way, but they have like braised lamb, meatballs, lamb meatballs. It's so good. A bunch of different hummuses to choose from too. If you saw my Instagram story a couple of days ago, you could check it out. But it's amazing.
Where is that?
There's one in One Paseo, and then they're gonna open one in La Jolla and another one in Mission Valley, which I'm stoked about. Right across from the Rack, Nordstrom Rack.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you know what? I did see the signs for that last time I was there.
Yeah,
It's gonna be that's a huge space, man.
it is big. There's another like sandwich shop going in there too, so it's not just kava.
Gotcha.
Hopefully another Ike's. I love Ike's. That's
Yeah,
not my
Ike's pretty
pick
good.
though. All right, Fabio, what about you?
This week I'm gonna go with King and Queen Cantina over here in Little Italy.
Oh, let me
That's
show my
probably
screen.
yeah, that's one of my go-to places usually. I like going there because of the music they play and the ambience of the place. But obviously right now we can't do that. But they still have pretty good happy hour going on, and you can still buy their delicious margaritas. They have a nice margarita flight. It's actually part of their happy hour. You can order delivery, but you cannot get alcohol delivered. If you want alcohol, you do need to pick it up. And on top of that, you can't just pick up alcohol. You need to order food too. But their happy hour has some pretty good choices for tacos. So you can get tacos and margaritas. And you can see at the bottom of that sheet that it lists all the flavors on there. Usually I haven't gotten these to go. I know Ryan, I know you got them to go. Usually when you get them at the restaurant, they give you like a side shot of tequila because you want to make them a little bit stronger. Do they do that when you pick them up too, or just the margaritas?
No, they put them in mason jars, and like we ordered the flight for someone's birthday, and they put them in mason jars, and they give you all the stuff to like put the tahini rim on too. So they'll give you like a side of different stuff ingredients.
And they're actually pretty good too.
Yeah, they
Those
are.
flavors
They
are
are.
good. Yeah.
So
So that's my
I love
restaurant for
their
this
food
week.
too. Their food's really good. I mean,
Those
I
dirty
think
fries with the margarita flight, you good.
super healthy too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, rumor is that Barley Mash is opening for to-go food in the next week, I believe.
Oh
Oh, that's
nice.
pretty awesome because that
Yeah.
transitions right into my place that I'm picking is Spill the Beans, which is has some of the same ownership. And Spill the Beans is their coffee shop, and it's attached to Smoking Gun. It's on Sixth and Market. But I think Spill the Beans is my favorite coffee shop downtown. Close second would be Cova Vita,
Ooh, I was gonna say,
um, but I like Spill the Beans. Their food is really good. They have really good bagels with a bunch of different kinds of cream cheese. but they also they make breakfast sandwiches, and their breakfast sandwiches are really good. My
Yeah.
favorite is the McLovin. It has like it's a breakfast sandwich, but it has syrup. So it sounds kind of strange, but it's really good. It's kind of like I mean, I guess their take on the McDonald's one. What is that?
Oh, right.
McGriddle,
McGriddle.
but it's called McLovin. Yeah, so it's really good. So the next topic we'll go into is one thing that I know a lot of people are kind of starting to get annoyed about, and I've received some calls from clients too, talking about this, is community amenities. So for those of you who don't know, community amenities are closed down for the most part in a lot of different buildings and communities like Savita too, where Carl lives. Their pool's closed down and gym and everything. So, people are paying for those amenities, and some people are disappointed that they can't use them. So what are your guys' thoughts on that?
Carl, you want to start or you want me to start?
You can go ahead.
To be honest, at first, I was a little bit more understanding. Like, I knew why they were doing it, and I knew kind of, everything was so new, so they were taking every precaution possible. However, I mean, we're going into, at least me and Gina are going into our second month here at our place, and they're still closed. And I think there's ways that they could potentially allow some of those amenities to be used and still be safe. But it just depends, right? We actually brought it up to the front desk to see if we can have a discussion about it with the board members and Action Property Management, who's the company that manages our building. The biggest thing for us is gym equipment. We still have the cleaning crew that comes in every day. They wipe everything down. They clean the elevators. They even clean the gym even though nobody's using it. So we suggested the idea of, hey, can we check out some of those weight sets, the dumbbells, because right now dumbbells are hard to come by. I mean, you look at Amazon, you look anywhere, you can't really find any. So we proposed the idea of potentially checking them out, an hour at a time, and then having them disinfected right before we give them back so somebody else can use them later on in the day. So we'll see where that goes, and hopefully we're allowed to at least use the equipment and not necessarily go inside the gym.
I think that's a fair compromise, being able to check them out, because you're taking them home. You can sanitize them yourself as well before and after use, and the building, when you turn them back in, they can sanitize them. And I mean, to be fair, the homeowners there are paying a lot of money per month for the amenities, and there's still a full-time cleaning staff that's cleaning. Like for example, ours, the second floor deck, is not being used, but they're still cleaning it every day, which no one's using it. So I guess, maybe changing some of the cleaning patterns to be addressing the, checked out equipment, or maybe allowing people back in the gym, like each household can sign up or something along those lines. One thing that's been a big topic has been pools. So my condo faces out towards another building's pool. It faces out towards City Front Terrace, and I could see the pool deck.
Also, we're telling on buildings too. I didn't know we were dropping names.
But they're open for exercise only, and they're not the only one. There's a lot of buildings that are open for exercise only. So, I know a lot of residents in my building are upset that ours isn't open for exercise. When we have an Olympic-sized lap pool, I mean, it should be open for exercise only. I know, not like hanging out there and just socializing. So I don't know, Carl, you said your community is doing the same thing, right? It's completely closed.
Yeah, it's completely closed right now. I think it would be cool to be able to rent out weights and stuff too. I mean, I've been to Target a few times trying to find weights, but I can't find anything.
There's nothing, man.
Yeah. Then as far as pools go, I think it'd be cool if they would open those up, but have a limited amount of people be able to go out there, right?
Even one household. I mean, your gym's bigger too, though. Right. In Savita. But our gym is fairly small, so maybe have one household at each hour, and then have the cleaning staff go in between, because they are at the building, they're cleaning anyway. But maybe focus all their attention on cleaning the amenities that we can potentially open up and have a protocol in place. Like, I'm not saying just open the gym and allow everyone in. I'm saying you have a protocol in place. And this is kind of the conversation that I've been having with several of my clients. You know, we chose community living, and there are now, you know, things that we have to deal with as far as protocols in place and everything. But that's one of the big bonuses of living in a community is the amenities. So.
Right. I mean, you're paying a lot of money for them too. I actually heard from one of my buddies that they're discounting their rent because they're unable to use the gyms and pools and stuff. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Has that happened at your community yet?
No.
So it's just like one community decided to do that.
Yeah. Right.
At least they're doing that. You know?
Yeah, not in Savita though. It was down the road.
Yeah. So the next topic we're going to talk about is the national market, and I'm going to share my screen with a graphic that Compass made, and it addresses the markets that Compass is actually in. It's right here. So these are the markets that Compass is in the United States. And this is a graph showing newly under contract properties. So this is the start of COVID-19. You can see the drop off. And then this has been the past few weeks. And you can see there's a drastic increase in the amount of activity. So it seems like people are kind of getting used to the new norm and stuff is picking back up. Not necessarily, I mean, some markets, it's actually higher than where it was before. So what area is that? Dallas area, it looks like it's higher than where it was before. Washington, D.C. area is going crazy for some reason.
But sorry to interrupt. I
no,
have a friend in real estate in the D.C., Virginia area too. And she said that they're just going crazy for homes with backyards. People were just trying to get out of there. Yeah, out of apartments, out of condos.
Well, they were one of the first ones to drastically be impacted, I think. And they were one of the first ones to, well, along with California, to put the shelter in place order in. So I can see why, as things start loosening up in terms of restrictions, why they're rushing to try to get into a bigger place or something that suits more of their needs.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at, this is Southern California. So they don't have one specifically for San Diego. They lump Southern California all together. So Orange County, LA, and San Diego. But you could see our graph right here. We started the year off pretty strong, and then as the stay-at-home orders were in place, things dropped drastically, just along, you know, with every other area in the country, and now they're back up almost to where we were. I think this is like January numbers because this is still February here, so it seems like things are picking back up to about where they were in January. And I think we're seeing that across the board, that things are starting to speed back up again, but with the necessary precautions in place. And we'll talk about that in a little bit, but keep in mind, this is just contracts within Compass. So they're using their own internal data to come up with graphs of the markets, which, I mean, we have a lot of agents in each of these areas. So in San Diego, we have, I believe, like 500 agents now, 600 agents now. So this is Compass-based data. So the next thing we'll talk about is California's new guidelines for showing property and real estate transactions in general. I'm not going to go over this document because it's 9 pages long, has a lot of information in it as far as like each specific scenario. But one thing that it has done is required each real estate company to come up with their own plan as to how they're going to protect clients during the pandemic, and kind of create their own rules following OSHA guidelines. So This is our particular company's guidelines on it. And this has to be posted on every front door of a property, of a listed property. It has to be included in the remarks or accessible by the public. And then it also has to be sent to everyone prior to you visiting the property for their initials. So, I mean, you guys, I know we had talked about this and we read through it. What are your guys' thoughts on these protocols?
I mean, I can see. Go ahead, Carl.
I was gonna say I think it's important that people do follow these guidelines, because there's so many people going in and out of houses for viewings, and we want to make sure that you're keeping the family who's selling the property protected as well, and their families.
Yeah. Fabio, what were you gonna say?
And then on top of that, you know, that these are there for us to remain in business. You know, if people don't follow the protocol, and then, you know, they can relate some sort of spike or people getting sick because they're going out to see homes that they're trying to purchase, we can again be deemed non-essential. You know, like don't forget the first couple of weeks of March, real estate was not considered essential. We weren't even allowed to show homes here in San Diego. So I think now that we're given the chance, and now that there's more clear instructions as to what we should do, I don't see why any agent shouldn't be following I mean, they're not that hard. You know, it's stuff that we should be doing anyways.
And I'll just go through these really quick, just to because it might be hard to read in the video, but essentially 2 people max as far as purchasers go, and they have to be living in the same household or living unit. Plus 1 person showing the property may enter at any given time. Showings are by appointment only. No one who tests positive may be allowed in the property. Face masks are required. Every person, when entering the property, must wash their hands with either sanitizer or soap and water. We've been using hand sanitizer. And then every person entering the property must maintain social distancing. And then while inside, try not to touch anything. And then the last thing is that, you know, we as a company are not responsible for cleaning the property. So just take the necessary precautions and be careful with what you're touching and you know, touching your face or anything like that, because it's impossible for us to go through and clean the property, you know, and promise that it's disinfected. It's not, it's near impossible for us to do that at every surface. So, you know, those are the guidelines that we have to follow now. We post it on the front door for every listing. We're required to do that. And again, we send it out for initials prior to any showing. So, yeah, I mean, I think those are probably the most important topics this week as far as like what's going on in real estate. The last thing that we're going to go over is our top picks. And I'm going to start with Carl because I have his pulled up, and I think that he is out and about right now at Avella, right? Or in the community area.
Yeah, so I'm in the community right now. Let me flip my screen around real quick so I can show you. So here's Avella over here. It's kind of in the distance, but as you can see, they have rooftop decks on all of them. It's anywhere between 1,500 to 2,300 square feet, 3-bedroom, 3.5-bath. I love the rooftop decks. I think it's so cool, especially because you can see the community is pretty awesome as well. So
they're really nice finishes too. I'm going to pull up some of the photos of one of the residences. So that's what the exterior looks like.
Yeah, and they're built by Toll Brothers, which is a really good builder in my opinion.
Sorry, I thought that had photos.
Yeah, I don't think there's many photos online.
Yeah, they don't really have a lot of photos on their website, but I've been to their sales gallery as well. And,
yeah.
It's very nice. So those are open for tours, by the way.
Right.
So if you're interested, reach out to Carl.
Yeah, I'd love to take around a tour of the neighborhood too, because They're still doing so much work.
Here's a sample of what it looks like. This is one of the model homes.
Oh yeah, yeah. I love the kitchens and the waterfall countertops.
All right, Fabio, you're up.
So mine's 1-bedroom loft style over in East Village, borderline gas slum district. This is over at Alta on the 2nd floor. It's actually the corner of Market and 7th. I showed this last weekend, and the home shows really well. I like how it has really high ceilings. It opens up the space really nice. And on paper, this property is about 735 square feet. But once you take into account the loft space upstairs, it's about 1,000 square feet. It does have a outdoor patio just like you saw there. And it just has a really cool feel to it. Listed at $499, well, $500,000, and in a nice building with reasonable HOA fees too. That's the upstairs area.
Yeah, it's really modern. I like the loft style.
Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of space up there. They extended. I've seen a couple of these on the 2nd floor, and a lot of them is just like you walk upstairs and it's just the like the bedroom space. But this one has a little bit more than that. Pool's currently going
really
through
nice
renovation, so it doesn't look like that. But it's a nice building.
Well,
really
it'll
good
look good
location.
when it's done.
Yeah.
So my pick was going to be Electra 2701. It was such a good buy that it went pending 5 minutes before we started filming this. So I replaced it with Renaissance 1808. This is a new listing. It just came on the market. It's a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, about 1,750 square feet. But it's one of the best 3-bedroom floor plans, in my opinion, in downtown. So if you're looking for a 3-bedroom, it's just a really good layout. It has a nice size master bedroom. This one they modified the floor plan a bit and created like an extra seating area, but it's still a good size room. There's a living space. I like that. So this is the seating area that this used to be a part of the master. They created a seating area with a fireplace that actually you could see through from the master bedroom. So there's the bedroom. It has 2 bedrooms on the opposite side away from the master. So it's just a really good layout for someone who's looking for 3 bedrooms, and whether it's a guest bedroom and an office, or a kid's room and an office, or just 2 extra bedrooms. It's just a really good layout. So it's the office space. Photos are a little out of order, but there's the 3rd bedroom. So this property sits on the southeast corner, has nice bay views, has really nice city views, and it gets a lot of natural light because it is on the southeast. That was priced at $1,395,000. All right, you guys want to add anything before we log off?
No, I think that was good information.
All right, sounds good. And if you guys have any topics that you'd like us to cover, reach out to one of us and we'd be happy to talk about it. All right, tune in next time.
Sweet.
See you guys.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.